popping, cracking, shaking, baby. It's your boy Q.U.E from the award with the #1 spot, man. Hey, it's definitely an honor and a pleasure, man, to introduce my next guest. You know what I'm talking about, man. We got the financial guru in the building, man. Businessman, life coach, man. He does much, much more. We got the one, the only Orlando Ferrell in the building, man. What's happening?
All right, what's happening, Q? Hey, brother, I appreciate it, man.
For sure, man. It's definitely an honor and pleasure to have you, man. Appreciate you taking out your time, man, to sit down with us.
Man, it's a pleasure for you to invite me to your show, brother.
Absolutely,
I really appreciate
absolutely.
it. And, it's an honor, man.
Yeah.
Because we need this information.
Nah, for sure. Well, present yourself, introduce to others, man, who you are, where you're from, and just give them a small background check on you real quick.
All right. As you said, my name is Orlando Ferrell, and I am a licensed professional financial strategist or a retirement planning specialist, or you can call me a wealth architect. What I do is I create solutions. You know, I help my clients minimize, their taxes and also gain their assets, maximize their assets.
I know I need this information.
And
go ahead.
And so what I do is I just educate people, man, on how money works.
Yeah,
because we don't know.
Yeah,
people don't know. So I feel like this is my calling. Been in a lot of things, done a lot of things, been in a lot of places. I consider. I always say I've been around the world 3 times and walked twice.
I know that's right.
So I don't miss nothing, right?
For sure.
And so this time around, the 3rd time, I got that information.
Absolutely.
So
out of curiosity, what started you on this journey of seeking financial literacy and things of that nature?
Well, Q, I guess I always had a knack for it.
Yeah.
And didn't know it was gonna come in this form, right? So because when I was young, man, back in the 80s, early 80s, I'm probably about 7 or 8 years old, 10 years old, running around the house.
Yeah.
There used to be a commercial that come on back then, way back then, and that commercial went like this. It would say, when E.F. Hutton is talking, everybody listens.
That's right.
So I didn't know what they was talking about then as a kid.
Yeah.
But I guess it just always stuck within me. And fast forward years later into the future to now, man, God, ordered my footsteps. He called me because my background, I have a bachelor's degree in construction management. Went to school for construction management.
Got you.
Graduated valedictorian in both programs, computer design and drafting CAD.
Oh, wow.
Also construction management, valedictorian,
everything.
4.0 GPA, grade point average, highest honor student, perfect attendance. I did that, man.
Come on, man. Congratulations on that one, man.
Thank you, brother.
For sure.
So I'm thinking I'm going in that field because I grew up in that.
Right.
My father grew up in it, started a construction company, and I took it over. That's what prompted me to go back to school to get my degree in construction management.
Gotcha.
Doing phenomenal in that field,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But I knew nothing about how money worked. Making tons of money, $200,000 or $350,000 in 2 or 3 months, but don't know what to do with it.
Right.
So fast forward, man, God called me, ordered my footsteps to this industry. Me being obedient, I didn't ask no questions. I just went.
That's right.
And not knowing why, but when I actually got here, and I started to absorb the information, soak in the information, and then it clicked. I said, okay, I understand why I'm here now.
Yeah.
Because he knew I was going to spread the gospel.
Absolutely.
He knew that I was going to tell his people. Because he said, my people perish for the lack of knowledge.
That's it. All day.
We don't perish for the lack of not knowing how to get up, go to work, hustle, and earn money.
Yeah.
We perish because we don't know where to put our money.
Man.
So our money can work just as hard for us as we work for it and grow itself tax-free.
Absolutely.
So Q, after I got here, man, and I started learning, I'm like, man, I got to tell it. I got to tell it. And so I really couldn't actually tell it until I experienced. So I'm like one of them individuals. I'm gonna do it first.
Yeah.
I can't speak about I can't speak about nothing that I ain't ever done.
That's right.
I ain't built like that. So I'm authentic. I consider myself authentic.
For sure.
So when I started putting this information in play, because as I always say, the only difference between a wealthy person and a poor person is information.
Yeah, I agree.
And information that is applied.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
The
applying
only
the information. Yeah,
So I got this information, brother. I applied it to my life. I started seeing a difference, you know, in my money.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. If you don't mind, just real quick, how did you go about seeking that knowledge? Like, did you read different books, Rich Dad Poor Dad, or like how did you go about
so all of that? You know, Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know, there's a lot of books out there. One of my favorite ones is, this is my mentor. He's been in this industry for north of 49 years.
Wow.
So he's seen some things.
Yeah,
His name is Doug Andrews, and he have a book called The L.A.S.E.R Fund.
So I have to get on that one.
The L.A.S.E.R Fund, L.A.S.E.R. You know, what is that? That's an acronym. Right? That's an acronym that stands for Liquid Assets Safely Earning Returns. So that's the piece that we don't know about.
Yeah, for sure.
We always been conditioned and taught and told to do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's like, you know, let me ask you this question, Q. Would you agree that 97, 98% of Americans have no idea or a clue or understand how money really actually works?
For sure. For sure. I'm one of them. I mean, I'm learning. I'm going on, my journey of seeking the information.
Right.
But I mean, I'm one of them.
I used to be one of them too. You know, as I just said, man, I used to make $200,000 and $300,000 in 3 months and spend it in 6.
Come on.
Not understanding how it really works.
Yeah.
So when I was fortunate enough to get this information, man, and lock it in, and like Doug Andrews, you know, there's a way that you can put your money to work for you and ain't never at risk.
Yeah.
You never have to risk. The 1%ers and the 3%ers of the world, they don't lose money. They don't believe in losing.
Yeah.
Bill Gates say, not Bill Gates, but Warren Buffett say, when it comes to money, the number one rule is don't lose it.
That's it. Yeah.
Rule number 2,
that's it.
Followed by rule number 1.
That's it.
Don't lose money. Right? And so also, let me ask you this question, Q. Would you agree that when it comes to money, it's like everybody is doing what everybody else is doing?
I would agree.
It's like everybody is following the herd or following these new facets that's coming on the scene, not understanding that these new facets and the herd that they're following is being led to the slaughter.
I would agree, because a lot, especially like if you're seeking it on YouTube and things of that nature, they normally don't give you the how to.
Right.
They give you the what and the reason why this is happening and this and that, and then they send you, it's like clickbait.
Right.
Send you down a whole rabbit hole of this and that, this side of new nickel, this side of new nickel, then next thing you know, you ain't really learned nothing.
You ain't learned nothing. You got a lot of money. And you just spent a lot of money and went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
right?
Come on.
Look, so that's why I really appreciate you, man, for allowing me to come on your platform and speak about this.
For sure. This is
because
it's needed, man.
It's very much needed.
Like you say, not just for what we're speaking off camera, not just for our people, just people in general. I guess the poor mentality, whatever, it doesn't show any color or anything.
No, it don't.
Like that. It's just,
it don't discriminate.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Look, there's white people that's poor, there's black people that's poor, there's Latinos, Mexican, all race.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because the lack of information. And that is done on purpose.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure,
this information that I now hold and ready to give at will, is life-changing as long as one put it to use.
Well, let me ask you this. Is this something just real quick, this is just kind of off the cuff, something practical that you can give us like real quick? Because like a lot of people kind of feel like, they have little to no financing, may not be making much at their job or whatever the case may be. But is it like some practical steps that we can take along those lines to where we can, start with what we have? Even if we, I'm just an example, we making $100, a week or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Is it something that we can do along those lines to start just implementing to start seeing some daylight?
Absolutely. It is, Q. And so As I said earlier, I'm a wealth architect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I build, I create, we design solutions.
For sure.
And so it don't matter if a person is working at McDonald's and they want to save, we can create a solution for them.
Absolutely.
If a person is a blue collar working in a warehouse, we got a solution for them. If it's a vice president or a president of a Fortune 500 company, we have a solution for them. So we meet people where they are.
Oh, man, I like that. I like that. I like that. Well, how do you feel about saving in particular? Because I know, like you say, it's a lot of, you know, gurus and financial coaches out there that say, oh, it's not good to save. You know, you should, you know, I guess whatever money you get invested in this and invested in that, you know, without, you know, saying putting your money in the bank and saving is not really a good idea.
Well, that's a twofold, you know. Now, in this country, you either to grow your money, you either going to invest or save. Those are the only two ways you grow your money.
Gotcha.
Right? So now, before I knew what I know today, I used to do a lot of investment. I also used to be an option trader. I was traded options for 13 years. I was always risking my money.
Right.
So there's a way to where you don't have to risk any money. You know, you don't have to put your money at risk.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to, you know, so like people that's working, putting away in 401ks, you know, 403Bs and 457 plans, all these are different type of investment plans.
Right.
So investment, now what it means to me, when I hear investment, when I hear the word investment, I hear risk and taxes. What I propose, what I offer, what I educate, there is no risk and there is no taxes. This is what the 1% and the 3% has been doing since the 1800s.
For sure.
So as far as saving in the bank, I wouldn't want to save in the bank. I don't save in the bank personally.
Gotcha.
The reason why I don't save in the bank, because of the wealth formula, the rule of 72, which Albert Einstein called it one of the 8th wonders of the world because of the compounding of the interest.
Gotcha.
And it says this: if you want to know how many years it takes for your money to double, wherever your money is sitting at, you would take the interest rate that institution is giving you, you would divide it by 72, and the answer that you come up with is how many years it takes for your money to double.
Gotcha.
So Q, most traditional banks and credit unions, they only give you 0.001% interest.
Come on now.
Right? So when you divide that into 72, well, anything that is divided into one is itself.
Right.
So that means to say it takes 72 years for your money to double in a traditional bank, credit union, CD, mutual funds.
So how many 72-year cycles do you have?
Come on. That was my next question.
Yeah.
How many 72 years are we guaranteed to promise in a lifetime, right?
Yes,
not even one.
Yes, sir.
So it's almost insanity to have your money sitting somewhere that it takes 72 years for it to double. And this is what I mean when I say if no one has ever been educated or exposed to this information, they're doing what everybody else is doing. They're putting their money in the banks.
For sure.
And the banks is the last place you want to put your money.
Yeah.
You want to have your money somewhere where your money is doubling every 6 years.
At least.
And you want the interest rate that your money giving you is anywhere from a 10 to 22 to 64% interest annually.
Gotcha.
It's that type of vehicles out there that allow you to grow. I own personally 2 of them.
Gotcha.
So
so would those be like I guess just for instance like high yielding savings accounts?
Well, you know,
or not necessarily.
You can definitely say high yield. They definitely high yield.
Yeah.
And you can say they high yield savings account because I call them savings accounts on steroids.
Yeah, right on.
Gotcha. Because you know I'm seeing my money doubling, like I say, every 6 years.
Yeah.
So if you got 20,000 in this thing 6 years later, that's 40,000.
Gotcha.
Tax free, and you access your money whenever you want to access your money. Unlike someone who's working, you know, and have a variable account. Variable account consists of 401ks, 403Bs for hospital workers and educators, 457 plans for police officers and firefighters. You have 529 college group savings plans.
Right.
You have traditional IRAs, Roth IRA. You have TSP account, thrift savings plans for federal employee workers. All these are considered variable accounts.
Gotcha.
Now, what that means, Q, is you have a 50-50 chance of losing your money that you work so hard for. And so when the people go to work and they start saving, putting their money into these programs, they really don't understand what it is.
Yeah.
What that is a tax code, an IRS tax code. And it is a contractual agreement or a partnership with the government saying this: I agree not to pay you any taxes on my seed money, my employer contributions, but I do agree to pay you taxes on my nest egg or my harvest in retirement on some future unforeseen date, when I'm much older, when I need my money the most, knowing that the taxes could be double or triple than what they are today.
Right.
What's your take on the taxes, Q? You think they're going to go up, they're going to go down, or they're going to stay the same in the future?
They're probably going to go up.
Yeah, they going up. They going up, brother.
I had to guess. I would say, yeah,
they going up.
For sure.
So why are they going up, though? You know, let's talk about why they're going up.
Well, is it because of the value of a dollar?
Well,
it's not as much as it used to.
That's some of it.
Yeah.
But when I talk to people, you know, I'm all about education.
For sure.
Because Nelson Mandela said, through education, we can change the world.
Absolutely.
And so that is my mission. That is, you know, I'm on a crusade to educate all people about this, man, because what's coming is going to be monstrous.
Yeah.
So about them taxes rising, that tax train arrived January 1st, 2026. Now, what do I mean by that, the tax train? January 1st, 2026, this is when Donald Trump tax break goes away. And when Donald Trump tax break goes away, the current administration is going to raise the taxes 2%. Now, 2% don't sound like a lot, right? But in actuality and reality, what that means is whatever tax bracket an individual is in, come January 1st, 2026, you will double.
So what does Donald Trump's tax break consist of?
So right now, you know, so people might be saying, well, that's for the rich and the wealthy. However, it affects everybody. Ain't nobody gonna be exempt from this tax spike.
Yeah.
So right now, Donald Trump has the taxes. You know, we are in the lowest tax bracket in the history of this country.
Right.
So if you go back and do your due diligence, you can ask Google right now, your audience, you can ask Google right now, how high were the income taxes back in 1944? Google will tell you the income taxes then were 94% on an individual. 94%. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the question though is, why would they raise the taxes to 94%? Because I have had people tell me, Orlando, man, you lost your mind, and they know when in the world the government is going to raise the taxes that high. And I'm like, Google it.
Yeah.
Ask Google. The history is there.
Yeah.
And do you believe history has a way of repeating itself?
Yeah, for sure.
So the reason why the tax was 94% back then, Q, is because there was a war going on, World War II. What are we in the brink? What's going on in this world somewhere today?
Yeah.
A war.
War, yeah.
And it's 30 seconds, 30 minutes away from it being declared World War III.
Absolutely.
So this is the reason why we're seeing all the inflation going up, the taxes going up.
Everything, food.
We're in a $37 trillion deficit.
Yeah, wow.
So even if they tax all the rich and wealthy people, they only going to be able to receive about $7 billion or $8 billion.
Yeah.
We're in a $37 trillion deficit. So they figured out, okay, we're going to tax the middle class. We're going to raise their taxes. Always the middle class. So how we, the middle class, maneuver around that, get out of that, is we start putting our money in index strategies.
Gotcha.
Index strategies, you never lose any money.
So what is the index? Is that part of?
That's that L.A.S.E.R fund that I was telling you about.
Okay, got you.
L.A.S.E.R.
So can you just elaborate on that a little bit? Just give us some information on
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
So the L.A.S.E.R fund, as I said, is an acronym that stands for Liquid Assets Safely Earning Returns. meaning that your assets, your money will always be liquid. You always have liquidity to your money.
Gotcha.
Then it's going to be safe from the volatility of the market because your money is not tied into the market. It shadows the market. So therefore, it allows you to get all the gains and the interest from the market without ever have to worry about incurring any losses.
Gotcha.
And then the E and the R, interest of return, it gives you.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
It gives you anywhere, the interest rate gives you anywhere from 10 to 22 to 64% interest annually. This has been a quiet kept secret since the 18th centuries.
Wow.
They've been making, this is why they say that saying, the rich get richer.
That's it.
And the poor get poor.
That's it, always.
Because the missing piece is the information piece.
And thank God, I mean, we kind of have access to some of the information nowadays, of course, with the internet and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's like even knowing what direction to go in to, seek that information. Because like all the information may not necessarily be on YouTube or even audio, audio books or, you know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you damn near gotta walk into the library like back in the days.
You really do. You really do. So the information is out there. One just have to say, okay, I want this information.
For sure.
It's kind of like, they say, the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
That's right.
So I guess I wasn't ready to receive that information when I was earning all that type of money. Wish I did. My only wish that if I could just rewind the hands of time, 29 years make me 20, and apply this information. 20 years in this type of vehicle, that L.A.S.E.R fund or the index account, guaranteed millionaire, tax-free.
Wow. Hey, man, if y'all did not know, man, we are in the building, man, with the financial guru, Orlando Ferrell, right now. Is it anything, can you, just like I was saying earlier about, just like I say, the ordinary Joe or whatever that's trying to get into investing or get a higher return on their money, like, is it like any beginner steps that they can take to start moving in direction? I know this is probably some information that you normally charge for, but is this like, can you give us
I don't charge. I don't charge.
Oh, okay. Well, I know they say the game is sold, not told.
Right.
So.
But look, God gave it to me.
Right.
So if I don't give it away,
that's right.
Trust me, Q.
Yeah.
I've sat up in my bed, me and my wife, many nights, and I said, babe, we could have kept this information. And kept it to ourselves. We could have got wealthy by ourselves.
For sure.
But that ain't what God gave it to me for.
Absolutely.
He gave it to me because he knew I was going to tell his people.
Absolutely.
All his people.
Yeah.
Mankind.
Absolutely.
So, there is. So, say if a person's working at McDonald's, or, you can take $100, man, in the right vehicle and become a millionaire.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And one of these index products, index strategies, you can put $100 in. If you're 20-something years old or even younger, parents saving for their kids' college financial education in the bank, put your money somewhere that money gonna double for real every 6 years.
Gotcha. So how do we get access to those index strategies or index funds?
Well, contact me.
Gotcha.
Because everyone everybody is different.
Gotcha.
Everybody has a different solution or a different challenge.
Gotcha.
So we sit down one-on-one, in person, on Zoom, and we do a complimentary FNAs, financial needs analysis. We don't charge. So just like any of those, Charles Schwab, Fidelity Inc., Mass Mutual, Edward Jones, Prudential, John Hancock, all of those big New York Life, all those big guys, if you ain't got $50,000, you ain't got no conversation.
Right.
They ain't got no conversation with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I will speak to somebody who has $50,000 and a whole lot more, but somebody who has a whole lot less. because I'm for the people.
Yeah.
And I understand now, and I know for a fact that you can start out with a minimum of $100 in the right vehicle and become a millionaire in 20 plus years. Straight up.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to sit down with you on that one, man. Cause I mean, I got a little method to my madness. Now shout out to my boy Dwayne Briscoe, man. He kind of you know, he has set me up on a plan as far as just even working with what I have, you know, getting at my job and what you know what I make from doing video production and stuff like that. And he was just telling me, you know, about having at least like 4 different accounts. And divvying your cash up, you know, in different percentages and putting in those different accounts.
So I'm not saying that's you know, that's not a great idea.
Yeah. Just start not though, you know.
So just starting out, you know. So you say your job, yo, you putting away in a 401k?
I am.
So let me ask you this, Q. How you like losing your money that you work so hard for?
I don't.
You don't. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Most people don't like losing their money, but when one don't know any better, they do when everybody else is doing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that same amount of money that you're contributing to your 401k, brother, you can take that money and reallocate it into an index strategy.
Right.
And I don't care if your company is matching you 4%, 5%. I don't care if they're matching you 10%. It still cannot outperform an index strategy.
Gotcha.
Or a laser fund.
Yeah.
So it's good that you have your money, you know, in multiple places. But the question is it indexed? If it's not indexed, then, you know, it ain't doing the very best that it could do.
Right. Right.
So you want to have it somewhere where it's in an index strategy. So for that, you can get anywhere from 10 to 22 to 64% interest annually.
Right.
Tax free. And you can access it whenever you want to access it.
Yeah.
So imagine becoming your own bank. You know, like my daughter, 23. She come home, she was so happy. She worked downtown for oil and gas company. She come home, she was so happy, man, because they had passed out the 401k paperwork so she can start contributing to her 401k. She done her budget. She saw she can put away $250 a month and still be able to pay her bills.
Right.
So I hear her telling her mom, and she's like, yeah, mom, they're going to match me 4%. So me knowing what I know, I had to go in there and tell her, sweetheart, I can't allow you to do that. What you mean you can't allow me to do that?
Yeah.
It's my money. I work hard for my money. I can do whatever I want to do with my money.
All right.
Indeed, you do work very hard for your money. In fact, you can do whatever you want to do with your money.
What's up?
But this is one time that me as your father will not allow you to do that.
It wouldn't even make sense. It's like knowing what you know and then knowing that's not necessarily the right vehicle to put your money. You know what I mean?
Bro,
how would you feel as a man or as a dad, like, and I don't give you that information?
Come on, man.
Yeah. So free you.
I told her, same thing with this. I'll be a POS of a dad to allow you to start putting your money into a tax-deferred variable vehicle. Tax-deferred means to delay, to put off, to procrastinate, to hesitate. Anytime we do that in life, it ain't good.
Yeah.
Same principle applies when it comes to your money. In one of those variable accounts, 401ks, you made that agreement to defer your taxes. So would you prefer to pay taxes on $10,000 or $100,000?
I probably prefer to pay taxes on $10,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most would.
Yeah.
But when you sign up to one of those 401ks, one of those variable accounts, you made the agreement to say, okay, I ain't gonna pay you no taxes on this $10,000. I'm gonna wait till I get this big nest egg over here.
Right.
100, 200,000. Yeah. When the taxes is double than what they are,
right,
and my nest egg is a whole lot bigger, then I'm gonna pay you taxes on it.
Right.
That's what you made the agreement when you made that 401k. So I told her I can't allow you to do that, love. We're gonna put that money into a laser fund. Put that $250, created my daughter a laser fund or index account. When she turned my age, 49, my daughter will have access to over $1.2 million tax-free money for putting away $250.
Yeah.
Now, she decided not to access that money then at 49 and continue to work to age 65, then retire. When she retired at 65, this account starts paying my daughter every year for the rest of her entire life, $325,000 a year, tax-free money. Will pay her this all the way up to the age of 120 if she lived that long. So 5 years in retirement at $385,000 a year, that's $1.5 million that this account will have paid my daughter tax-free and continue to pay her that $385 a year until she died or reached the age of 120.
Wow. Oh shoot, man, we might as well just cut this interview right here, man. We can go